Hey Mike, how's it going?
Hey, good morning. Doing well, thanks.
Awesome. So we have a quick question for you. What did you eat yesterday?
Yesterday, okay. Here's my dietary recall. We'll see how accurate it is. So normally I don't eat anything till about 1. So around 11, I had a fatty coffee. So I guess I start having calories. So I'll make in my pour over. I'll do this organic coffee. I'll do a little bit of MCT oil, just a small amount of butter, and just a touch of grass-fed whey for flavor. It's not enough to really probably spike insulin or anything like that. And then before I went and got my antibodies tested for this COVID-19 thing, I had 3 egg yolks and some pork shoulder from our backyard pigs. Thank you, pigs. And that was it until, let's see, we had dinner at about, I'm trying to think, so I went to the post office, went for a walk. I think it was like around 6:37. And then we had slow cooked, even just more pork shoulder. I had some mushrooms. Deanna made this coconut cream, whey protein infused fatty dessert, just a little bit of that, and I've had nothing today, so that's basically it.
That sounds delicious.
You know, we don't have a lot of, barely any processed food or anything like that. I mean, when I say barely, I mean, one of our like guilty pleasures, and I say our, it's really my daughter and I, will go get these plantain chips. There's this new brand, I can't even remember the name, but they're like fried in coconut oil, and they're these slivered plantains, and they're really good, you know. But that's like the most processed we get. We don't eat out at junk food restaurants or anything like that. So, yeah, so it's nice to be able to have something. So you're like, okay, I feel like I'm having a little dessert. It's got a little monk fruit in there. Sometimes we'll do a little honey. We're pretty active. We go for walks after dinner. I'm not at all worried about that stuff. And I really feel that the 80-20 principle is great, because if you're so strict, that lends itself to binging and overeating, and that does more harm than good in my estimation.
For sure. I would agree with that. We're trying to find a balance ourselves, so it's really cool to hear how other people approach a balanced diet. Yeah, Mike definitely, it sounds like Mike definitely follows a carnivore-ish diet as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I do. You know, it's like I don't have autoimmunity and things like that. So we'll have sweet potatoes, we'll have some onions. I totally feel that carnivore can be very helpful for a lot of people. But to be honest, I kind of like the flavor of certain things too, and I don't notice like major swings in like arthritis or joint pain or whatever. Like, so yeah, but I know, like, if I'm trying to stay super lean and I'm not that physically active, I'll be really strict carnivore, because it's the easiest way to not gain weight, you know, like,
for sure.
It makes it simple.
For sure. All right, so thanks for telling us about what you ate. Do you have any exciting news or anything you want to share with our audience?
Gosh, exciting news. You know, one of the things that I've been trying to educate people on now is the importance of diet with regards to their immune system health. You know, as you all know, I mean, you go to the grocery store and flour's out of stock and bread's out of stock and sugar's gone, and people are buying 300 cans of soda pop. There was some article in Kentucky where this guy tried to buy like 3 shopping cart fulls of Mountain Dew. So, you know, I just want people to know that their diet like impacts their immunity, and we got to double down and take this seriously, right? If we all want to like get back to going to seminars and weddings and dinner parties. So I've done a bunch of videos on this on my YouTube channel. High Intensity Health is the name. If people want to learn more about that science, I mean, I've tried to share that as simply as I can for people, so that they can share with people they know who are eating donuts and going to Krispy Kreme and eating McDonald's right now, which I think is really not a good idea.
Awesome. We'll link all of your profiles in the description below. One thing we love about your approach is that you add humor on your Instagram with all like the memes and stuff. It really does make it easier to digest. Resonates with people more.
Yeah, it's more shareable, you know, because I used to be that strict science guy, and no one cared about my stuff, and I was like, all right, I gotta switch it up. So yeah, I try to make it funny. You know, we all, humor's good, laughing's good. So yeah, I appreciate you all having me on, and thanks for everyone tuning into this, and good work.
You're like ending our podcast. That's great. Thank you, Mike.
Hey, my pleasure.
Appreciate it.
Have a good weekend.
Thanks, you too.
Although Mike did not eat breakfast, he did say he had some coffee. We do not drink coffee, so today we are replacing his coffee with some raw goat's milk. I think that is a nice alternative. We've got some healthy fats, protein, and a little bit of carbs in here. And we are eating breakfast since we stopped fasting. So we're just gonna pretend this meal didn't happen in Mike's day. So we got 2 sunny side up duck eggs and a side bowl of sheep yogurt with some blueberries, a little bit of honeycomb, and then some fresh bee pollen. So this is gonna be our meal 1. Oh, hi Gus. Gus thinks it looks tasty. So yes, no, he did not eat, but we are sticking to our no fasting, so cheers. So we are headed to our local co-op to pick up some items because we do not regularly shelf mushrooms at our house. So we're going to go forage some mushrooms off the shelves and get whatever else we need for Mike Mutzel full day of eating. But first, I wanted to show you our local co-op swag.
So we got that reusable bag with the net for the produce. Okay, you can stuff some meat in there if you would like. We've got the bucket hat with the cover all around 365 cover because ain't nobody want none of that coronavirus. Nuh-uh. We ain't trying to get no coronavirus. I swear it's in the air. No. I saw it the other day. No. Oh, I almost forgot. This is our custom grocery carts from our my mama gave me that. Yep. That was a fierce turn. So it really goes hand in hand.
0 to 60 in 3.5.
You got the bags. You got the cart. You got the bucket hat. Okay? What more could you need? Nothing.
Picked up a beautiful pork shoulder roast from our local co-op. Wish we had backyard pigs. This is from a local farm. So now we are simply just going to try to put this shoulder roast into pan and cook on low for 8 hours. 8 hours later. So let's check on this pork shoulder. As you can see, a lot of the fat juiced out. So it definitely just cooked in its own fats. Oh, I can't.
That's so
Once
juicy.
it's gonna shred apart.
Describe the aroma.
Kind of like the inside of a Chipotle. Do you
The inside of a Chipotle.
see? It's gonna shred apart as I pull it out.
It's too tender. Oh, that's lovely.
All right, we're gonna let me get both out. Tender juiciness. Guys, this was so easy to make. And let's just show. Oh my gosh, did you see that shred? Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness, how easy it is to just shred apart.
That looks booming.
Beautiful.
I'm salivating onto the camera.
Yes. All right, let's take a look at this one now too.
Oh
Other
yeah,
side.
get this big boy.
Let me
Yep.
give slow motion for you.
There it
slow
goes.
motion for you.
Slow motion for me.
motion for
Slow motion for me.
Ooh, I like.
I'm
that.
excited for this. I see why Mike eats this both meals.
Yes. All right, for platter number 2, we've got some of that shredded pork shoulder, a big old mound of that. Side of mushrooms, so that's what Mike ate. And then here's what we're eating, because we're different. We've got some, what is this, pickled carrots? Pickled carrots, some raw honey, a side of a little bit of wiggly bone broth, and then a side of some raw goat milk yogurt that we made with some strawberries and some mangoes. Let us eat, yo.
Alright, so clearly the platters in this household are a little different than Mike's platter. Yeah, we kind of failed entirely on doing a full day like Mike Mutzel, but for a good reason. We're different people. So the contents of our plate we added to it. So yes, we had the pork shoulder and we had the mushrooms. Quick note on the mushrooms.
They're not our favorite. So like that's why we're just not choosing to include those as our carb sources during this healing amenorrhea journey. But if you like mushrooms,
you eat your mushrooms.
You try them. Do they work well for you? Incorporate them on your lettuce.
So they were on our plate and they just won't return to the plates next time. But so we had his items, but then we added our own, so we feminized it for us. We added our carrots, we added our carbs in the form of fruit today. We added some dairy. So we are just eating for our needs. And so another difference between the way Mike eats and we eat is the implementation of fasting. So you guys know, if you followed us for some time, we were really big on the 2 meals a day. So even just like a month ago, we were doing 2 meals a day, no breakfast, eating at like noon and then again at 5 p.m. So that was our eating window. And it seems like Mike does something similar to that now. He has some sort of coffee, I think he said, with some fat in it towards like early afternoon. And that's how he breaks his fast. And I get why for him, but for us, that's just not in our best interest right now.
Yeah, so this is part of our healing amenorrhea journey, is to eliminate fasting. And the reason for that is energy balance. So most of us think of energy balance on like a full day scale. We just analyze the amount of calories that we burn, compare that to the amount of calories that we consume. Therefore, our bodies will gain or lose weight based on the difference between those two. But when healing amenorrhea, it's important to dig into that a little bit deeper and look at the energy balance on an hour-to-hour scale. So, for example, Mike not eating until 1 or 2 p.m., he's putting himself in a negative energy balance until that time, and that is totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that if you are a healthy, functioning individual.
If your ovaries are on.
But for us, having that long period of time with that negative energy balance is signaling to our bodies, signaling to our thyroids, telling our ovaries to turn off because it's not an essential function. And so when you're in a healing amenorrhea journey, you have to do everything you can to tell your thyroids, I am here for you. You can turn your reproductive system back on. I'm doing everything I can to let you know that my body, it's safe now. And so for us, having a lot of negative energy balance throughout the day is not the best idea. And so we will be incorporating more meals, more eating throughout the day so that we try to maximize the amount of time that we are in a positive energy balance. Again, we are in a unique situation healing our amenorrhea, and we are not saying that fasting is bad, but I think it's always important to consider the context. So let's give our context.
Okay. Quick note on the fasting though. Mike has a lot of resources on fasting. If you are interested in it, you can visit his stuff there. But anyway, for us, context-wise, we are 2 relatively young females. We are currently not getting our period. We are active. We walk around a lot. We're at the age where we should be fertile.
We're relatively lean.
Relatively lean.
We don't have any chronic conditions.
No chronic autoimmune condition, but we have put that under remission, so I'm not concerned right now. So that is like our general.
So therefore, our main health goal is to fix our amenorrhea. We aren't trying to lose weight right now. We aren't focusing on autophagy, so therefore fasting is just not in our best interest. All right, so we would like you all to take a second to reflect on your context. So how did you get to your current path? Do you deal with any chronic conditions right now? Are you eating in a way that is serving you best for your health? Or are you eating in a way because someone else has told you to do so, or you're following a set of specific strict guidelines for a diet?
Yeah, it's, okay, wait, we gotta reflect.
Okay.
Take a second. I don't know why we're praying suddenly.
No.
It's really interesting to think about. So we are actually getting really outside of our comfort zones by eating more throughout the day. We've been eating 2 meals a day for what, like 2-3 years
This
now?
is a huge change.
It's a huge change, but we never took that step back to realize that the way we were eating just wasn't serving us anymore. We were just such in a routine, and this routine was being reinforced by the keto and the fasting community that like you had to intermittent fast. Like, who eats breakfast anymore?
I love breakfast, not gonna lie.
Failing to realize that like that was not making us feel as good. Like there's a difference between like how great can I feel in the absence of food versus like how great can I feel all the time just eating to fuel my body to be healthy.
But again, it's important to consider Mike is at a completely different stage of his life, has completely different goals. He's a male, and so we have very different contexts.
Yes.
And so that's why we like doing these videos, filming these
what I ate in a day, like insert name, because we want to show everyone how many different approaches there are, and there's no single path towards optimal health.
No.
Find the path that works best for you and for your health and your goals.
Yes, but don't confuse like being like extra in autophagy or like expert at fasting, or you know, doesn't eat breakfast and that's what you think is healthy, with like actually being healthy for you. So that might be healthy for somebody else, but truly there is not enough studies out there to say that intermittent fasting is truly healthy for female hormones, or that keto diet long term is truly healthy for female hormones. So be really careful in what you're told to do and see if it's actually working for you.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's already, we're eating so much throughout the day that it's already time to make the next platter.
This is our third meal today. We've got, as the Metabolic Mike ate, a lot of shredded pork shoulder, looking really good. No mushrooms made their way onto this plate. Just wasn't happening, right, Gus? It wasn't happening. We got some squash, so roasted kabocha and then roasted butternut squash with lots of red mint sea salt. You can see the grains. We have a lightly seared round steak with a beautiful fat cap, and then some side bowls of some wiggly jiggly broth, so more gelatin, and then some raw bone marrow mixed with some raw honey. It's such a good combo, such a good combo.
This is my favorite color. Bone marrow pink. The cutest color there is. That's all I gotta say.
This is gonna be our third meal. All we're eating today, so we'll wrap this up.
Let's eat
so
much for tuning in, guys. Clearly our platters were pretty different from Mike's, but hey, you were able to see a full day of eating of Mike and a full day of eating of Strong.Sistas. So
Oh yeah.
2 bangs, you know?
Thanks for that.
Buck. Okay.
All right, while you're here, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button to stay tuned for more videos. And in the meantime,
Behave like an angel.